The sun rises over the golden savanna, painting the sky in fire and gold. The circle of life begins once again. But this time, the story isn't about Simba, it's about the lion who came before. Before the Pride Lands became peaceful, before the legend of the Lion King was told, there was a cub named Mufasa, born not into royalty, but into struggle. In this retelling, we see Mufasa not as the mighty king we remember, but as a wanderer. He was an orphan cub, lost in the wilderness, surviving each day through courage and hope. The savannah was harsh, ruled by powerful lions and predators who showed no mercy. Yet deep within, Mufasa carried a spark, a belief that he was meant for something greater. One night, beneath the stars, he met Rafiki, the wise mandrill who would one day become the Pride Land's spiritual guide. Rafiki saw destiny in the young cub's eyes, a future king who would bring balance to a broken land. "You are not just born of the earth," Rafiki said. "You are born of the stars." These words would follow Mufasa forever. But destiny is never easy. In his journey, Mufasa encountered Taka, another young lion with royal blood, his brother, who would one day be known as Scar. At first, they shared dreams and laughter. Together they hunted, trained, and believed they could rule side by side. But jealousy has a way of hiding behind smiles. Taka saw how others admired Mufasa's courage, his heart, and his growing strength. The bond between brothers slowly began to crack. When a drought struck the land, everything began to fall apart. Hunger led to conflict, and pride turned to fear. The lions fought for survival, and Mufasa stood tall, protecting the weak even when it meant defying his elders. It was this act of defiance that would change his fate forever. One day, in a desperate moment, he faced a raging river, flooded and violent. Across it lay the path to the Pride Lands, where the royal family lived. Mufasa leaped into the water, battling against the current, refusing to give up. When he emerged on the other side, soaked and trembling, he had proven something not just to others, but to himself. He had crossed from cub to lion, from wanderer to leader. But his journey was just beginning. The trials of the heart, the burden of destiny, and the shadow of betrayal awaited him. Mufasa was no longer just surviving. He was walking toward his crown. The Pride Lands stretch endlessly under the golden sun, and Mufasa now walks among kings. The cub who once wandered alone has grown into a lion with purpose, strength, and compassion. His courage has earned him respect, and his roar commands attention. But within the shadows something darker brews, jealousy, resentment, and a heart poisoned by envy. His brother, Taka, watches silently as Mufasa rises higher, while he remains in the shade. At first, Taka hides his pain behind laughter. He calls Mufasa the chosen one, mocking him but masking his bitterness. The truth eats away at him slowly. Every praise from Mufasa feels like a wound. The elders see leadership in Mufasa, but none in Taka. Their father, Ahadi, begins to groom Mufasa to rule one day, believing in his courage and wisdom. And that belief, though pure, plants a seed of hatred in Taka's heart. One night, a fire spreads across the savannah. The wind howls, animals flee, and chaos reigns. Mufasa, without hesitation, charges into the flames to save those trapped. His golden mane glows against the inferno, his roars echo through the smoke. He rescues a lioness and her cubs, pulling them to safety even as embers burn his skin. From that day forward, every creature in the Pride Lands speaks his name with awe. Mufasa, the lion who faced fire for others. Taka watches from afar, eyes burning brighter than the flames. His jealousy turns to rage, and his rage becomes a vow. If destiny favors Mufasa, then destiny itself must be broken. Years pass. The brothers grow stronger, their bond weaker. Mufasa learns from Rafiki, from the stars, and from the lessons of the land. He learns that to be king is not to rule by fear, but by balance. The great kings of the past speak to him in dreams, their voices carried by the wind. A true king does not seek power. He serves it. But Taka cannot hear those voices. The stars are silent for him, and in that silence, he finds his own reflection, twisted by resentment. When a herd of wildebeest stampedes through the gorge one fateful day, it becomes the turning point of their lives. Mufasa rushes to save his pride, to protect his people, unaware that betrayal waits above. Taka's plan unfolds, carefully, cruelly. He sees the chance to claim the throne by letting destiny fall. His heart pounds as he watches Mufasa fight to survive. For one fleeting moment, mercy flickers in his eyes, but envy snuffs it out. What began as brothers' rivalry will end as tragedy. As the dust settles, and the roars fade, the legend of Mufasa's greatness is only beginning. The land that will one day call Simba its king is being shaped by pain, loyalty, and betrayal. The circle of life turns, and destiny sharpens its claws. The night sky glows with 1,000 stars, and among them shines one brighter than all, the spirit of Mufasa. His presence still watches over the Pride lands, whispering through the wind, guiding those who remain. The earth feels quieter without his roar, but his essence lingers in every sunrise, in every breath of life that stirs the grass. The lions mourn him, but even in death, Mufasa's legacy begins to take form. Rafiki stands before the great tree, drawing symbols with his staff, his voice trembling between sorrow and faith. "He lives in you," he murmurs. The stars shimmer, and for a moment, the wind carries the echo of Mufasa's laughter, deep, proud, eternal. His sacrifice has not ended his story, it has only given it meaning. Taka, now scarred in both body and soul, ascends to power. He names himself Scar, as if to remind the world, and himself, of what he lost. The Pride lands begin to change under his rule. The skies darken, the rivers dry, and the herds move away. Balance breaks. For all his desire to be king, Scar never understood what Mufasa did, that being a ruler means serving life, not consuming it. The throne becomes his prison, and his guilt, his crown. But beyond the sorrow, hope stirs once again. In a hidden part of the savannah, a cub is born, Simba. His eyes, curious and golden, mirror those of his father. Rafiki raises him to the sky, and the Pride lands rejoice. The circle begins anew. Mufasa's spirit smiles from the heavens, knowing that his wisdom and courage will live on through his son. Time flows like the great river. One day, the voice of Mufasa will call again from the clouds, reminding Simba who he is. And when that moment comes, the roar that once vanished into the canyon will echo again across the land, louder than ever before. Because kings do not die, they become the stars that guide us. The story of Mufasa is not just a tale of power or betrayal, it's the story of legacy, love, and the eternal rhythm that binds all life together. The circle of life never ends. It only changes form.